What if everything you've been told about Toyota being the most reliable car on the planet is about to become outdated? Because right now, there are 4 automakers quietly outbuilding, outlasting, and outpricing Toyota in the repair shop, and almost nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, you heard that right. For decades, buy a Toyota if you want it to last has been gospel. It's the advice your dad gave you. It's the advice your mechanic gives you. It's basically tattooed onto the windshield of every used Camry on every used car lot in America. But the game has changed. Cars today are loaded with software, sensors, hybrid systems, turbochargers, infotainment screens the size of iPads. And some brands have used that shift to actually leapfrog Toyota in the durability department without ever putting it in a flashy Super Bowl commercial. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which 4 brands are doing this, how they're pulling it off, and why one of them is going to genuinely surprise you. So if you're even thinking about your next car or SUV, you need this information. Smash that like button, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown, and let's get into it.
Let's rewind for a second, because to understand how Toyota's crown is slipping, you first need to understand how Toyota built that crown in the first place. Back in the 1980s and 90s, Toyota wasn't just making cars, they were perfecting a manufacturing philosophy. It's called the Toyota Production System, and you've probably heard pieces of it. Lean manufacturing, just-in-time production, Kaizen, which basically means continuous, never-ending improvement. Every single bolt, every gasket, every stamped piece of metal got refined, generation after generation, until Toyota had engines and transmissions that were almost embarrassingly simple and almost impossible to kill. That's how you get legends like the Toyota 22RE engine in old pickups, or the 2JZ in the Supra that tuners still build 1,000 horsepower on top of decades later. Toyota didn't chase trends. While other brands were experimenting with exotic tech in the 80s and 90s, Toyota was quietly asking, does this part actually need to exist? And if it breaks, how much is it going to cost the customer? That mindset is why Toyota became the default answer to, what car should I buy that won't strand me? But here's the thing, that mindset isn't a Toyota patent, it's a philosophy. And over the last 15 to 20 years, several other manufacturers studied that exact playbook, and in some areas, they've actually run further with it than Toyota has. So let's start the countdown, and brand number 1 might already be parked in your driveway right now.
Brand number 1 is Subaru. And honestly, car enthusiasts have known about this one for years while everyone else slept on it. A little bit of history here because it actually matters. Subaru's parent company, Fuji Heavy Industries, has roots going all the way back to an aircraft manufacturer. And if you think about it, that legacy never really went away. Subaru still builds engines with the same obsession over balance and low center of gravity that you'd want in, say, an airplane wing. That's where the Boxer engine comes from. Instead of cylinders standing up in a V or in line, they lie flat and punch outward like a boxer's fists, hence the name. That design sits low in the chassis, keeps the car balanced, and has been refined for decades. Now combine that Boxer engine with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system, and you've got a formula that's been battle-tested in the most brutal way possible, rally racing. Subaru's WRX and WRX STI dominated World Rally Championship stages for years, getting absolutely hammered on gravel, mud, ice, jumps, and surviving. That same DNA trickles down into your average Forester or Outback in the grocery store parking lot. And here's a fun fact that should make Toyota fans do a double take. Subaru's AWD system is so respected that Toyota themselves licensed a version of their own vehicles. Let that sink in for a second. Toyota, the brand synonymous with we don't need anyone else's help, went to Subaru. Here's where it gets even better for Subaru. Their AWD setup is mechanically simpler than Toyota's typical part-time systems, which translates to fewer long-term repairs and a lot less electronic calibration headache, according to Consumer Reports data. And the Impreza? Multiple long-term studies actually rank it above the Corolla for transmission and engine durability, in Toyota's own bread-and-butter category. Most Subarus are assembled in Japan or right here in Lafayette, Indiana, under brutally strict quality control. It's genuinely common to see owners cross 200,000 miles on the original engine without major surgery. And here's the kicker. Subaru has one of the highest brand loyalty rates in the entire industry, with roughly 70% of owners coming back for another Subaru. That's not a marketing department spin. That's mechanical trust, earned the hard way, mile after mile, snowstorm after snowstorm. Brand number 2 is going to surprise a lot of people, Mazda. And to appreciate this one, you need to know where Mazda's been. For most of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, Mazda had a reputation as the fun Japanese brand. Zoom zoom, great handling, the Miata, rotary engines screaming in RX-7s and the RX-8. Exciting? Absolutely. Bulletproof? Not exactly the word anyone used. Rotary engines in particular were notorious for needing rebuilds. Mazda also went through some genuinely rough years financially. They were partly owned by Ford for a long stretch, leaned on Ford's platforms and parts for a while, and there were real questions about whether Mazda would even survive as an independent brand. But instead of folding, Mazda did something gutsy. They bet the company on an engineering philosophy. It's called SkyActiv. And the whole idea behind SkyActiv was almost the opposite of what every other manufacturer was doing at the time. While rivals were piling on turbochargers, complex hybrid systems, and dual-clutch transmissions, Mazda went back to basics. Engines, transmissions, chassis, and bodies, all re-engineered from scratch for efficiency, weight reduction, and mechanical simplicity. No gimmicks, just better fundamentals. And it worked. Consumer Reports ranked Mazda as the single most reliable automaker, ahead of both Toyota and Lexus. Read that again, because that's not a small claim. Put a Mazda CX-5 next to a Toyota RAV4. The RAV4 has the bigger name, sure, but plenty of owners will tell you the CX-5 feels quieter, better screwed together, and doesn't suffer from the CVT and software gremlins that have shown up in some of Toyota's newer hybrids. According to RepairPal data, Mazda owners spend roughly 15% less over 10 years than Toyota owners do. Mazda's plants in Hiroshima and Hofu post some of the lowest defect rates in the entire industry, which is honestly kind of poetic, since Hiroshima is where Mazda was founded back in 1920, originally making cork before eventually moving into vehicles. Same hometown, completely different era of manufacturing. And here's where it gets really exciting for car people. Mazda is now doubling down with a brand new inline-six engine platform and a rear-wheel drive architecture, the kind of layout enthusiasts have been begging for, going back to genuinely old-school engineering principles, while a huge chunk of the industry rushes toward untested EV platforms. It's a bold move, and if their track record with SkyActiv tells you anything, it's a move that's likely to pay off in reliability terms down the road too.
Brand number 3, and yeah, you probably called this one, Honda. If Toyota is the safe choice, Honda has always been the enthusiast's choice, and that goes back to the company's roots. Soichiro Honda started out building motorcycles, and Honda's entire identity was forged on racetracks. Motorcycle Grand Prix in the 60s, Formula One throughout multiple eras, and of course the legendary VTEC engines that every kid who grew up watching import tuner culture in the 2000s knows by heart. That racing pedigree isn't just a fun bit of trivia, it's directly tied to why Honda engines are so tough. When you build engines that need to survive being revved to the absolute edge on a racetrack without grenading, you develop a level of obsession over tolerances, materials, and quality control that trickles all the way down to the Civic in your neighbor's driveway. Honda's engines have a legendary reputation for sailing past 200,000 miles with nothing more than basic maintenance, oil changes, timing belts, the usual stuff. And they're typically cheaper to repair than Toyota's hybrid systems or CVT transmissions. Head-to-head, the numbers back this up. The Civic has consistently outranked the Corolla for engine and transmission durability. The CR-V has outscored the RAV4 in long-term dependability, especially on older models, thanks to simpler drivetrains and cheaper parts. And mechanics genuinely love working on Hondas. Everything's laid out logically under the hood, like the engineers actually thought about the poor guy who'd be doing the timing belt at 105,000 miles. Parts are everywhere, junkyards are full of them, and most repairs don't require pulling the entire engine bay apart, unlike some newer Toyotas where a simple job suddenly turns into a half-day project. Here's something most people never think about: Honda's obsession with parts interchangeability. Suspension components, electrical bits, even certain engine parts often fit across multiple model years. That means faster diagnostics, cheaper parts, and repairs that don't require a specialist with a laptop and a prayer. Combine that with strong resale values and great fuel economy, and you've got a brand that delivers Toyota-level reliability with more personality and lower long-term costs. But Honda's real superpower is global consistency. Whether your Civic was built in Marysville, Ohio, in Suzuka, Japan, or in Thailand, Honda enforces the same torque specs, the same suppliers, the same testing standards across every single plant. That's why a 2010 Civic and a brand new Civic still feel mechanically familiar under the skin. Honda builds every single car like it's expected to be somebody's daily driver for the next 25 years, whether that's true or not.
And now, brand number 4. And yes, before you say it, I know. Lexus is Toyota. Technically, true. But stick with me here, because the backstory on this one is wild. Rewind to the mid-1980s. Toyota's executives noticed something. American buyers with serious money were almost exclusively buying German luxury cars, Mercedes, BMW. Toyota wanted in on that market, but they knew that just slapping a fancier badge on a Camry wouldn't cut it. So they launched a secret project, codename F1, no relation to racing, with one mission: build a luxury sedan that could go toe-to-toe with a Mercedes S-Class, but with reliability so far beyond anything in that segment that it would feel almost unfair. The result was the original Lexus LS400 in 1989, and the engineering obsession that went into that car is honestly legendary in the auto industry. They reportedly tested prototype engines at sustained high speeds for the equivalent of driving from Los Angeles to New York and back multiple times over just to find failure points before customers ever could. That obsessive culture, it never left. It became the foundation of everything Lexus builds today. So yes, Lexus shares architecture with Toyota, but it's developed by separate design teams, built on separate assembly lines under stricter quality standards. And in J.D. Power's vehicle dependability study, Lexus ranked #1 overall. Yes, above Toyota itself. The Lexus RX consistently beats the Toyota Highlander on electronics and powertrain reliability. And despite being a luxury brand, Lexus repair costs are shockingly reasonable compared to German rivals like BMW or Mercedes, which, let's be honest, have a reputation for repair bills that make grown adults cry. The Lexus ES shares its bones with the Camry, but owners report fewer electrical gremlins and smoother long-term operation. The secret sauce is something Lexus calls Takumi craftsmanship, a small group of master technicians, each with decades of experience, hand-inspecting engines and key components under a zero-defect philosophy. Even the paint process uses robotic scanners hunting for microscopic imperfections invisible to the human eye. The payoff is cars that run flawlessly for decades, often crossing 300,000 miles with minimal drama. And here's the part nobody talks about. Because Lexus shares Toyota supply chains, parts pricing and repair times are nearly identical to a regular Toyota. Translation, you're getting a handcrafted, near-obsessively built luxury car with mainstream Toyota maintenance bills. That balance is exactly what kept Lexus on top of the dependability charts for nearly 2 decades straight.
So step back for a second, because there's a bigger story here than just 4 brands are good now too. The entire industry is in the middle of one of the biggest shifts it's ever seen, the move toward hybrids, EVs, and increasingly complex software-defined vehicles. And reliability rankings are basically a snapshot of which companies handled that transition the smartest. Toyota leaned hard into hybrid technology early, and frankly, their hybrid systems have generally been solid. But generally solid and bulletproof Corolla from the 90s are 2 very different standards, and that's exactly the gap these other 4 brands are stepping into. Subaru kept things mechanically simple while everyone else chased complexity. Mazda made a genuinely bold bet on going back to engineering fundamentals instead of chasing every trend, and that bet is now paying dividends, both in reliability rankings and in driving enjoyment. Honda leaned on a century of racing-derived engineering discipline, and Lexus took Toyota's own playbook and applied it with even more obsessive precision. None of this means Toyota is suddenly a bad choice, far from it. But untouchable was always a dangerous word in this industry. Just ask any brand that got comfortable at the top and then watched a rival quietly out-engineer them while they were busy doing victory laps.
So here's the bottom line. Toyota still builds great cars. Nobody's saying otherwise. But untouchable? Those days are over. Subaru, Mazda, Honda, and Lexus have all proven, with decades of engineering history behind each of them, that smart engineering, not flashy badges, is what actually makes a car last. If you're shopping for your next car or SUV, do yourself a favor. Look past the badge. The brands quietly perfecting their craft behind the scenes might just hand you a car that goes farther, costs less to keep running, and surprises absolutely everyone, Toyota included.
If this opened your eyes even a little, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Drop a comment and let me know. Which of these 4 brands surprised you the most? Was it Mazda? Be honest. And if you're serious about making the right call in your next vehicle, hit subscribe right now, because we're breaking down exactly these kinds of decisions every single week. Until next time, drive safe, drive smart, and I'll catch you in the next one.